Hi, it's Aislinn. I want to welcome you all to Ace of Spades Tarot. I apologize that these last two readings are a bit behind schedule. I don't know if anyone else has been feeling this kind of, ascension process during the pre-shadow period of Neptune and Jupiter conjunction in Pisces, which is actually currently happening. So, I mean, we're still ringing in the astrological new year energy-wise, which is why I decided to start this channel. I couldn't think of a better time to do it. But for whatever reason, I just came to kind of a block where I had to listen to my body and said I couldn't, I was getting massive headaches and want to make sure I can always give the best reading I possibly can. So therefore, they're late. I'm sorry. We'll be going into the full moon. We're still in new moon Aries energy, but we'll be going into the full moon in Taurus. Adjust the speaker. So we'll be going into the full moon in Taurus energy very shortly. And the readings will be quite different. Right now, I am, for these first 12 readings, I've been using the Romney spread, which has been a lovely gauge of collective energy for all of the signs. This particular reading will be for the collective of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, North Node, really wherever Aquarius lies prominently in your natal chart. Because I don't choose the cards myself, I don't, I don't, unless I'm instructed, I don't tend to pull cards. The shuffling process can be a bit time consuming, so definitely feel free to fast forward during this process. I mean, the cards are pre-shuffled, but I also like to shuffle on camera. Also, it's interesting because the sun is just rising here, and the cherry blossoms are starting to bloom. And typically I like to read at night, but I was woken up at like 4:30 in the morning, and there were these shadows on my wall. And of course there was logical explanations for it. But what's really interesting is that there were two shadows in specific that, and one reminded me very much of the Knight of Wands. So we'll see if that comes out. It kept kind of morphing from the Knight of Wands, the Page of Wands, to the Fool energy, which I have here just because to me as a reader, the Fool is not only Aries, it's also Aquarius. And then the second image it kept morphing from kind of this Fool to the Six of Pentacles. So I'm curious actually to see if those come out in this reading. They may not. The Romney spread will give us a kind of, like I said, a general gauge of past, present, future energy. Not fortune telling. As always, this is a collective reading, not a one-on-one reading, not a personal reading. So please always take what resonates with your situation and leave the rest. Um, I also think that I was delayed to be, I mean, I'll always be very frank with you. I think I was delayed because, you know, Uranus, which rules, you know, it's the ruling planet of Aquarius, is in Taurus, and I'm a Taurus. Well, I'm a Taurus Gemini cusp. But, so I felt this kind of stagnancy when it came to doing this. It was bizarre. But as time is fluid and, you know, this sort of reading is timeless, in my opinion. It really is. When it finds you, it's meant to, and hopefully some of the messages do resonate. And if not, please feel free to check your other, you know, your other signs and other placements in your chart, as those might resonate for your situation more. The channel will be certainly evolving. And so I will not be using a 20 or 22 card spread, as that's typically not my thing anyway. But it will be doing more of a free flow in the next couple of days for the full moon in Libra that's coming up on the 16th, depending on where you are in the world.
Sorry. This is not my
I've been reading tarot for years, but videos are not my technology in general. It's not really my thing, which is probably also why Aquarius seems so hard to reach for me, because not only is Uranus in the constellation of in Taurus right now, which is not, you know, neither Uranus really likes being in Taurus, nor Taurus does not, you know, doesn't really like Uranus being there. So, I don't know, a lot of reasons. Anyway, I am very new to YouTube. I'm still learning the ropes. I just wanted to start this channel because I feel like it's a time when a lot of people need guidance, and if I can help in any way that I can, that would be, you know, immensely rewarding for me, just in terms of knowing that if anyone, just one person, resonates with this, that's beautiful. So if you do, please subscribe and comment. Please be respectful when you comment, both to myself and to other viewers. Like the video, comment on things that I mean, constructive criticism, always welcome. Things that you want to know, things that you want me to focus on. I want this to be a safe space. I want it to evolve. I want it to ever be evolving in these times, because these are revolutionary times. Seriously, I mean, I think we are in the midst of a massive kind of global revolution. Again, I told you, it takes a long time, so feel free to fast forward. But yep, that's what we got. Okay. A few more minutes here to go. I will finish off the reading with a couple of oracle cards, just to kind of either confirm the reading or to further clarify. Really, whatever messages, Spirit, Universe, God, however you'd like to think of whatever higher force is out there for you to know. It's interesting, I was also meditating a lot on your energy as the star, right? The star is the 17th major arcana in the tarot, and it is your energy, and it's freaking beautiful energy, because the star comes after the tower, right? And so it is the breath of fresh air, the breath of relief from just having gone through a tower moment, or continual tower moments, or whatever, you know, something in your life. And, you know, the star really is, it's about balance, it's about harmony, it's about generosity. You know, she's there, she's naked, she's pouring water into both the earth and to the stream. The stream, you know, is the kind of, it's about the subconscious, right? You know, the depths of the water, what lies beneath, and what we can't always grasp. And the earth being the tangible and the conscious, you know, and what she pours into the earth turns into 5 kind of tributaries, if you will, and those are representative of the 5 senses. So again, quite tangible. But yet, you know, she has this one large star above her head, meaning she has healed in a way that she has found spirit, and she has these 7 other stars around her, which are representative of the 7 chakras. And she's naked, you know, she has disrobed and deveiled the mantle of the high priestess, and she has also transcended the physical, tangible, worldly passions of the Empress. So, in a way, whereas, you know, High Priestess is intuition incarnate, and Empress is creativity and fertility and abundance incarnate, she is kind of spirit incarnate in the same way. And you know, there's a bird in the tree in the background, which is the ibis, which is the symbol of the bird symbol of the Egyptian god of Thoth, who is, you know, the god of also magic and creativity and art and many other things. You know, I like to show the cards relating to the sign that I'm reading for, just because. Okay, that was a twist at the ending there. Let me see, cut the deck. Okay, cut the deck. I did. And that is at the bottom. So, with no further ado, I will get into the reading. Again, why is this so loud? Am I missing something? Okay. Sorry, it's early and odd for me to wake up when it's still dark. And now it's fully light. Okay, so when we look at your first row of past, right? First card we see is someone walking away. And walking away from an 8, it's an 8 of cups, right? And it's interesting because we're going into eclipse season. And so you have both the sun and the moon, which to me is very much a symbol of eclipse season. But this person is walking away, staff in hand, red robes on, 8 cups here. But their path is clearly lit, you know? And they're choosing to walk away from something that no longer serves them. That because they know, you know, in tarot we're always trying to get to the 10. Just as, you know, the Fool is 0 in the major arcana, and the world is 21, and we're always, you know, we pass through all stages in our journey in this life, in this 3D life that we're in. So in the minor arcana, it's not quite the Fool's journey. It's almost the pre-hermit card. But again, we're always trying to get to the 10, and this, you know, this character knows that he can get to the 10. He's missing 2 cups. And he's not going to settle for these 8. And we don't even know if these 8 cups are full. We just know that he is walking away on his own journey, solo, because he knows the 2 cups are left to be found. Now we have the 8 of Wands in reverse, which means a delay in communication, delay in messages, or something misfiring, something, you know. And it kind of makes sense coming after the 8 of Cups to have this kind of delay, because perhaps you're someone that's had an away message up for a while. Perhaps you're taking a sabbatical, so you know, if you will, and people are emailing you and you have your sorry out of the office response on. Either way, there's communication that wants to come in that's being delayed. So you have 2 8s in a row, and then we move into the 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles is about balance, right? About balancing things out. He holds the scale of balance. You see the same red robes. And, you know, Cups are all about emotions. Wands about more passion, physicality. Pentacles, more what's in the tangible world. Specifically finances, but doesn't have to be just earth energy. So it's almost like this man has gone, or this person, because there's no gender in tarot. The only cards I really with gender is the Emperor and the Empress, and divine masculine and divine feminine energy to me. But we have those both also within inside ourselves. So even then, don't take that necessarily literally. But this character who walks away, he's still wearing the red robe here, right? And he's found some balance, and he's giving to those in need. And then we have another 6. So we have 2 8s, 2 6s, and we have the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is my soulmate card. Many readers, you know, the soulmate. But it's really about nostalgia for a time. I mean, we have all of these. The white flowers represent, you know, a purity and innocence, when a simpler time, you know, just when giving a gift of flowers was enough to make someone's day. Beautiful time. And with these two cards next to each other, I'm noticing really for the first time, you know, he has the red of the pants, the red of the hood, and this green, and this green. And in this green, this character has, you know, I'll hold them up so you can see, but, you know, this kind of beggar has a patch of red. So at one point in his life, he might have worn the red cloak. You know, cycles turn, things change. What you have now, you might not always have. What you don't always have, you might have in the future. Which is why it's always it's important to remember, you know, to balance the scales and to be grateful for what you have, but when you have enough to provide for yourself, to make sure you give back to others. Because, you know, this character has that same green cloak on. So it's almost like we're seeing a reverse transgression of, or reverse, not transgression, a reversal of the aging process, and maybe this person is remembering what it was like, you know, when things were young and nascent. In comes the Knight of Wands. Now, Knight of Wands is all fiery passion. As everyone says, he's the player card of the deck. He can be, he cannot be. Depends on your situation. Or she can be, she cannot be. It's, but you know, he wears a very yellow cloak. It's very solar plexus chakra-esque. He is, you know, he and his horse are in complete synchronicity in terms of they're both ready to charge in. There's no fear, he's holding his wand firmly. He can be the in and out card. You know, the here for a good time, not for a long time card. And I think that there's a sort of journey that's happened here, right? You have the 8 of Wands in reverse. If you add this one, that's the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. You know, it's the card of, I've been through it. I've been through it, and I've been through the ringer. I don't want to go through it again. But, you know, this Knight of Wands hasn't really experienced that yet. Again, he's still on his sabbatical in a way. And I feel like these are the things he's thinking of while on this sabbatical. Then we have Judgment, right? Now, 10s are all about endings. Judgment in his card 20, 10, you know, 2 10s. Endings and new beginnings. It's Archangel Gabriel ringing the trumpet, you know, to awaken what appear to be the dead, you know. It's about heeding the call and recognizing that certain things in the past haven't worked for you. And there's a nostalgia for certain things. There's an understanding of certain things. But there's been a resistance to change. This kind of, I really want to, the words are giving me sexual energy, and I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but to not be led by your passions, but to be more balanced and understand the scales, you know, and justice, judgment, well, justice is the scales, but so, Freudian stuff. Judgment calls us to do that, right? Calls us to heed the cry, to be resurrected, to start afresh. Now we go into the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is planting your seeds and waiting for harvest. You know, just kind of standing there waiting. Again, this red cloak seems to follow. And it's the red boots of the man or the character walking away from his Eight of Cups. You know, it's a learning to have patience card. I'm getting that very, very strongly. So you have 2 8s, you have 2 6s, right? You have a 20, which breaks down to double 10s, and then you have a 7, which is right smack in the middle of 8 and 6. And you don't wear the clothes, the robes of this man who's found perhaps temporary success. At least he feels successful enough to give to others. He's not on a lone mission anymore. He's realized he has to put in the work if he wants things to happen for him. You know, I just noticed this. It's funny. I mean, I've been reading the Rider-Waite deck this is my 3rd Rider-Waite deck. You know, the first one was given to me when I was a child by my mother. It's a vintage deck now. But I always noticed something new, and I just noticed how 1 pentacle lies beneath him. Well, the other 6 are here. So you have 6 pentacles and 6 pentacles, right? But he keeps 1 for himself, which even in the 6 of Pentacles, 3 here, 2 here, 1 above him. As above, so below. Balancing. Understanding, starting to grasp this concept. So as we go into present, we have the Sun, happiest card in the deck. Sun is about it, you know, it almost, to me, it correlates greatly with the 6 of Cups in that it's this beautiful energy of childhood, of freedom. I mean, we have a naked boy on a horse. That sounds very bad when I hear it back to myself, but that's not what I mean. I just mean it's you know, horses run free, children run free. My God, I didn't wear clothes until I was like 3 years old. I didn't see the point of them, and it was, my parents were like, okay, she just doesn't want to wear clothes. So that was that. And you have these sunflowers, you have these 4 sunflowers behind, right? And what's interesting is that the sun is actually behind them. Again, I'm just noticing this. The sun is actually behind the sunflowers. And so sunflowers always turn towards the sun. So it's almost as if, like, it doesn't matter where the sun is in its placement. The sunflowers are still in bloom. They're still there. They are still, everything is kind of as it should be. This sense of freedom, this sense of, you know, this red flowing drape, if you will, is like before it became the robes of a man or a woman, before it became necessary to dress ourselves in proper attire. It's a card of freedom and just genuine light, you know, things that shine light on situations. And then we go into that 9 of Wands. And it's interesting because I really hadn't looked ahead, and the 9, as I said, the 8 plus the 1 is the 9 of Wands, and here we are with the 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior. And he's carrying this wand, right? Still in these same red cloaks. The yellow boots of the man of the 6 of Wands but has been through the battles. Perhaps there is an issue with a child. Perhaps there is an issue with a past love and nostalgia for something in the past. Perhaps the Knight of Wands energy got old. I mean, all of his chakras are blocked. He's blocked from his root through his crown. Root chakra blocked. Sacral chakra blocked. Solar plexus chakra blocked. Heart chakra blocked. Throat. He might be able to speak, but he's trying damn hard not to speak. You know, the bandage around his head, third eye, and crown chakra blocked. He's been through it. He doesn't want to go through it anymore, but he is guarding what he has gone through with everything left within him. We then have the King of Cups. Now, King of Cups is an interesting energy to emerge here, because so far, you know, our cups have been beneficial on journeys. King of Cups is an energy of complete emotional control, right? It's a very stoic king. So, I mean, it's Aquarian and Piscean energy, I believe. Sorry, it's still early for me. I'm not quite a morning person. I always think it's interesting that his shoes are actually kind of, they look like the scales of a fish. And we have this kind of creature coming from the background. It's kind of like an eel type, snake type creature. I mean, scaly, as you would imagine the shoes were. He's not looking towards it. He's not looking towards a ship in the background. He's just sitting calmly, because he knows what he has to offer. And his, again, in complete control of his emotions. Unlike the Knight of Wands, who, again, here for a good time, not for a long time. King of Cups, he's not going anywhere. I'm not feeling that as your energy. I'm feeling this more as your energy of the been through the trials and tribulations and aiming to get here. But I'm honestly feeling, and I'm checking the cards, I'm feeling various Seven of Cups energy with this, of not trusting. Because I mean, the King of Cups knows he doesn't have to wonder and be discerning. He knows. Kings don't become kings for any, for no reason. They're kings for a reason. So he doesn't have to worry about the snake in the background or the ship that might be docking, or, he doesn't have to worry. This man has to worry, because now he's afraid. He's seen too much, and he doesn't trust anything. Very, very, very dichotomous, these two cards next to each other. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is a very solid offer, always a solid offer. Also, the slowest knight in the deck, as we all know. The horse doesn't move. I mean, compare the difference between the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Wands, fiery, passionate, sacral chakra, lover. Knight of Pentacles is like, does he even like me? Does she even like me? I can't tell. but because they're not moving very quickly. But the ground is stable beneath. The horse is stable. The knight is still a knight. And he carries, he's not dressed in the pomp of the Knight of Wands. It's earth energy. And he carries this offer, this pentacle, a tangible offer of something real. So for those of you that are, this is really not meant to be a love reading. I will focus on those in the future. For those of you that are, though, single, if someone seems a little bit boring, a little bit, there's not the spark, there's not that spark, don't quite give up on them. Because I feel like as we go into this Two of Swords, this is where we question, right? The Two of Swords, it's a Moon and Libra energy. And, it's a waxing crescent moon. So the moon is getting bigger as it heads towards the full moon. The tides will eventually come in. Eventually, Right now they're at bay. But her third eye is blocked. She's blindfolded. And her heart chakra is blocked. She's got these two swords up, and she can easily put those swords down. And she could easily unblindfold herself, and she could easily walk away. There's nothing stopping her. She's not on rocky terrain. She's on solid ground. She's calm waters behind. Moon illuminating. So I feel some of you have gone through this, or are going through this, because this is present. This kind of, but it's not the passion that it was. Or it's not whether it be a job, whether it be a person, whether it be a general sense in life. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So now we have 3 knights on the board. So, and this is the first time swords are showing up in this reading. So the Knight of Swords is the horse is like, please slow down. The Knight of Swords is like, I don't give a fuck. Excuse me. I swear sometimes, so if you are not comfortable with that, I am not your reader. I try to temper it. I don't give a rat's ass, put it that way. I'm going in, I'm charging in, I'm going to strike before I think, and the trees are clearly swaying in the wind. His feet are firmly in the stirrups. He doesn't care. He is charging. So it's not the Knight of Wands, right? The Knight of Wands is all about the pomp and this is fun. He's not the Knight of Pentacles who's standing still. He is just doing whatever he feels like doing in the moment and not thinking about the consequences afterwards. Which is interesting because you have this Two of Swords surrounded, flanked by these 3 knights. So either you are incredibly popular, and of course, we have air energy, we have fire energy, we have earth energy. Doesn't have to be. I don't always like going into that because I don't want it to sway. But perhaps you're really, but in your mind, one is out, right? Because we see only 2 choices here. I'm trying to figure out these 2 choices. But if you count the 2 and the 2 swords and the 1 sword, it leads to a heartbreak. 3 of Swords, right? 3 of Swords is heartbreak. And if you add in the King of Swords, it's after the Knight of Swords, which says to me, is there a child involved? Perhaps there's a child involved. Perhaps the Knight of Swords is the child of this King of Swords. I'm not sure. Just came into my head. I can't help what I download. Perhaps the Knight of Swords is becoming this King of Swords, where he started, Perhaps it's a quick growing up process. But then you have 4 of Swords, which is the card of meditation and contemplation and seeing the visions in your mind's eye before actually doing them and creating them. But the King of Swords, like the King of Cups, so it's really interesting. Okay, this is interesting. We have the King of Cups, the King of Swords. Both are the two most stoic kings. You know, it's just interesting. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, which is the slowest moving knight and the fastest moving knight. But the King of Swords has learned to control his impulses, control his words, because, you know, swords are all about air energy. You're an air sign. You know how to use your words. You know how to communicate. And you have lofty ambitions that sometimes need to be tempered in reality. Knight of Pentacles is all about the tangible, all about the reality, all about what, you know, all about realistically what can and can't be done. King of Cups understands his emotions. I have this much to give to you, and I need this much to reserve for myself. King of Swords understands that about his thoughts, right? You see this butterfly above him, and it's you know, the butterfly goes through the period of the larva to the caterpillar to the chrysalis to the, you know, it's a lot of muck in between, right? But out of it comes an understanding. And it's interesting because when cups are about emotions and swords are about mental energy, it's kind of like you have these two kings within you, right? So, and this has been a theme. This reading has been different than most of the other readings in this series. In some ways, different cards have come out. A lot of the same cards, and but I'm reading certain things completely differently, and the order has been completely different. But a lot of a massive theme in this time is mind over heart, right? We want to be aligned, body, mind, soul. We